All right, so we did just some general subtraction and stuff the other day. Now we're going to be doing the ones where they give you the values for like x and y, and you have to like plug them in and do the same thing. So, they're telling us as a general thing for all these problems, x is going to be equal to 7.1 and y is equal to negative 2.5. So that's going to be what we're plugging into each of these problems. So, number 18, we have y minus x minus 12. So we're going to be replacing the letters with these numbers. So y is negative 2.5, minus x is 7.1, minus 12. So everything has the same sign. Okay, so they're all negative signs on them or all subtraction. So we can add the numbers and then just put a negative sign on it. So we have 12 and 7.1 and 2.5. Why did I go right to left? I don't know, but I did anyways. So we're going to add them up. So we have 1 and 5, so that's 6. We have the decimal point, and then 2 and 7 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1, so this would be 21.6, and since they were all negative, the answer is going to be negative, so it's negative 21.6. All right, number 20. X minus, in parentheses, y minus 13. So go ahead and plug in. We have 7.1 minus, parentheses, negative 2.5 minus 13. So PEMDAS says we need to do what first? This up in parentheses, so same sign, so what do I do? You can ignore this part.
Okay, would you add?
Yep, and then what's the sign going to be on the answer?
Negative.
Yep. So 13 plus 2.5, so that's 5, decimal 5 and 1. So this is going to be negative 15.5. And I'm just going to keep the parentheses around it for now just because of the sign. So 7.1 minus a negative 15.5. So what does the minus the negative do?
Makes it positive.
Yep. So these become positive. So 7.1 plus 15.5. I'm just going to add it down here to where I already had the number written. So 5 and 1 is 6, decimal point. 7 and 5 is 12, carry the 1. 1 and 1 is 2. So the answer would be 22.6. Whoa, why is my box crooked? Any questions about that one? Or the other one? Okay. 22 negative y minus x. So we have y is negative 2.5. So I have minus. I like to just put in parentheses negative 2.5 when there's another sign out in front of it, just to make sure that we don't forget the sign or get confused about, oh, I already wrote it, or no, I didn't, or whatever. And then minus x is 7.1. So what happens to the negative 2.5? Yep. This becomes positive, so I now have 2.5 minus 7.1. So how would I go about solving this one? So what do I...
Do a higher number.
7.1 minus 2.5. So, gotta borrow. So, 11 minus 5 is 6. Bring down the decimal point. 6 minus 2 is 4. So, it's 4.6. But what sign goes on it? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Are you sure? Don't look at this. Which number is bigger over here?
7.1.
So, what sign goes with it?
Negative.
Yeah. Ignore this part when you go to decide what sign you're using because you're going to write it differently and it's going to look like the other number is negative. So, let's see. One more of those ones with these numbers. 24, we've got 5.3 minus parentheses y minus x. So, plugging in the numbers, we've got 5.3 minus parentheses, y is negative 2.5 minus x is 7.1. So what am I going to do first? Okay, so in the parentheses, we have the same sign, so my answer is going to, or how am I going to get my answer? Yep, I'm going to add them, and then what sign's going to be on it? Negative. So I'm going to go ahead and write my negative sign here so that when I solve it, I don't forget it. 7.1 plus 2.5. So 6, decimal point, and that's 9. So negative 9.6. So I have 5.3 minus a negative 9.6. So what does that mean I need to do? Add them. So the double negative becomes positive. So I can just go over here and just stack again. So add 5.3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Bring down the decimal point. 9 plus 5 is 14. So 14.9, and then both numbers were positive, so it stays positive. Any questions about those ones? Feel okay with them? All right, so then the next one's similar, but now we're going to go back to some absolute value like we had in 2.1. So we're going to bring back the absolute value, which obviously is always good review. So again, we're given a new set of numbers for x and y, and actually z this time as well. So x is equal to 3.6. Y is equal to 6.6, and z is equal to negative 11. So 32, where parentheses, x minus y, close parentheses, minus, and then the absolute value of z. So I'm going to go ahead and replace each of the variables with their number. So in parentheses, I have 3.6 minus 6.6, close the parentheses, minus the absolute value of negative 11. So what does the absolute value do to the negative 11? Makes it positive, so I can get rid of the absolute value bars and just rewrite it as 11. Okay, now, don't get confused and get rid of this negative outside. The only negative that's going away is the one that's inside. Okay, so I'm going to have 3.6 minus 6.6 minus, and then it's positive 11. Okay, well, I say minus positive 11. I said that because of the positive coming out of the absolute value. So now what do I need to do? Parentheses, so how would I set that up? 6.6 minus 3.6. And is my answer going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. So I'm going to go ahead and write my negative sign over here so I don't forget it. So 6 minus 6 is 0. And then 6 minus 3 is 3. I don't need to write the 0.0, so I'm just going to rewrite this as negative 3. And then minus 11. What would that be?
Negative 8.
They have the same sign, so what do we need to do to the numbers?
Make it positive.
Okay, we're going to add them, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be 14, and then we keep the sign that it had, so it would be negative 14. Let's see. 34. We've got x minus the absolute value of y minus z. So we can plug our numbers in. So I've got 3.6 minus the absolute value of 6.6 minus a negative 11. So just as a reminder, we treat absolute value like we would a parentheses, so we're going to treat it like a grouping symbol. We're going to do the stuff in there first. So I have 6.6 minus negative 11. So what do I need to do in there? Yep, so I'm going to make this an addition. So then I will have 11 plus 6.6. So that's 6 decimal point 7 1. So I will have 3.6 minus the absolute value of 17.6. Now, since I don't have it's just a positive number in the absolute value, I basically just get rid of the absolute value bars. Okay, they can just go away because it's already positive. So 3.6 minus, because it was a minus outside, 17.6. So how would I do this? Yep, and then is my answer going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
What number is bigger?
Oh, wait, no,
Negative. Okay, so it's going to be negative because 17.6 is bigger. So I'm just going to go over here and do the 17.6 minus 3.6. So 0, minus 3 is 4, and 1. So I don't need the 0.0. So it's just going to be negative 14. All right, this last one I'm going to let you try on your own, and then we'll go over it. So it's x plus y minus z plus 12.9. Okay, so this one doesn't have any absolute value bars, so you just have to follow just normal order of operations for this one. Alright, did we get an answer? What did we get?
I got 34.9.
Nice.
It's right, when we did it.
It is right. So we changed that to plus, so then we just had to add all the way across. So 3.6, 6.6, 11, and 12.9. Go, is that 12, 21, 9, 10, 12, 14, 34.1.
That is so much easier. The one I did. Sounds just like.
Well, that's how I did it. I did it just.
Did you really?
Yeah.
If there was subtraction in there, you wouldn't have been able to stack it like this. You would have had to go piece
Yeah,
by
but because
piece.
I knew there wasn't
I thought-
gonna be
for a second, I was
subtraction, but I
like-
still did that.
For a second, I thought I was doing it wrong. At first, I thought I was supposed to go straight to the parentheses.
Oh.
So I was like,
Yeah, I just rewrite it like that when there's going to be a double negative so that it doesn't get confusing on if I like wrote it or not.
Yeah,
So
she just like wants the right size the way it is.
I'm so proud of myself. Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this.
I like this.
17 through 25 odd, and then 33, 35, and 37.